But once you have birth control and abortions and whatnot, now you can still satisfy the limbic instinct, but not procreate. So we haven't yet evolved to deal with that, because this is all fairly recent, the last 50 years or so, for birth control. So I'm sort of worried that, hey, civilization, if we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, perhaps increase a little bit, then civilization is going to crumble.
Now, I understand that some of you who might not be familiar with Elon Musk and what he gets up to, you might see the confident way that he delivers that thought. You might look at the look on Tucker Carlson's face as if he's never heard anything more intelligent than the absolute drivel that he's hearing right there. But I need to remind you, lest you become one of the sad online people who believe that guy's a genius, that all of that was utter and absolute nonsense. Birth control, yes. Hormonal birth control is relatively new, but I'm gonna blow Elon Musk's freaking mind right now. People have been doing stuff to control whether they get pregnant or not for a little bit longer than 50 years. It actually goes quite a ways back, dude. You should look into it. Take a look at this picture. This is a 13th century illuminated manuscript featuring an herbalist preparing a concoction containing pennyroyal, which can lead to miscarriage for a woman. There were a few other ways that they did it too. People found a way, is what I'll say. More importantly, Elon Musk has long been obsessed with the idea that if the population doesn't continue to rise, that will be the end of civilization, which you could potentially have an intelligent conversation about. He has never been a part of that intelligent conversation. The way he talks about it is the way a capitalist would talk about worries of potentially there being fewer workers to compete with each other, so maybe labor would gain some more power. But at the end of the day, the reason I wanted to start, out of all the stuff that Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk got up to, the reason I wanted to start with this was Elon Musk talks about every single topic with the exact same level of confidence. And I need you to know, and I don't begrudge you the possibility that you might be ignorant of this, because most people can't follow the news every day. They can't follow everything that Elon Musk gets up to. They don't know everything about his past. But I need you to understand, he has no expertise in anything having to do with human reproduction, population, anything like that. And that is true for most topics. We're gonna talk about AI and everything. He helped to found OpenAI. That has led some people to believe that he's typing away at computer training AI models. He's involved in Tesla. He didn't even found that. That has led many people to believe that he's like Tony Stark in a garage putting together batteries and stuff. He doesn't have training in almost any of this, so please take with a massive grain of pennyroyal anything you hear coming out of his mouth. Jared, what do you think?
Well, I don't know if it's his cadence or the choice of words he uses, but has people fooled into thinking he knows what he's talking about. Again, as you pointed out. But then again, you went back a little bit further. These methods of potential birth control, even things like abortion. These Christ-like figures, as they like to call themselves, apparently haven't read the Bible, because there's verses in the Bible about I guess an unfaithful woman, and the punishment that comes with that is miscarriage, forced miscarriage, which would not result in this procreation of humans. As a matter of fact, it's Numbers chapter 5, verse 27 and 28, if you allow me to read. If she's made herself impure and been unfaithful to her husband, this will be the result. When she's made to drink the water that brings a curse and causes bitter suffering, it will enter her. Her abdomen will swell and her womb will miscarry, and she will become a curse. Odd how that works. But verse 28, if however the woman has not made herself impure, but is clean, she will be cleared of guilt and will be able to have children. So it sounds like it's based off of whether or not you're impure or not, whether or not you should be able to have children. It was just the law. Whether or not you believe that that's the Bible endorsing this practice, it's mentioned. It's something that far back that humans have been doing. But we're gonna try and convince people to think just because I'm Elon Musk and I talk like an idiot, that somehow what I'm saying makes some kind of sense. Because it just happened in 1970. When are we gonna stop listening to this guy? He knows nothing.
I think that would be great. Look, there is a world in which he actually cared about the work or the inventions or whatever the hell it was that he was doing initially that helped him to take the large amount of money that he was given by his family and turn it into more money, and not become so obsessed with getting the most pathetic people on the internet to think that he's clever or whatever. that he could have just focused on what he knew, like designing apps or whatever. He was involved in some of that stuff back, around like the turn of the millennium and all that. But the fact that he's involved with SpaceX does not mean that he's designing rockets. Like, and I'm going to the companies of his that he still has. Like, have you been in one of his tunnels lately? Have you been in a Hyperloop recently? He's a genius after all, and he's definitely in charge of all of those things that he was talking a lot at one point. So where the hell are they? It's because it's not about him. It can't be because he doesn't know anything about it. These are complex things that involve tons of actual engineers and scientists. That's what I'll say. And in this area, people who care a little bit more about the actual individual's bodily autonomy that he gets to talk about in incredibly abstract terms, people for whom they're not so rich that they can just have 10 kids or whatever and not care about the financial consequences of that. I'm gonna focus on actual people's lives.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.